everybody, and welcome to our second YouTube-specific recording. We don't have Randy here today, so we're a little bit sad, but we have Austin, so that makes us happy.
I'm 75%.
75% Randy?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that.
Just don't think about it.
He's my dad.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
I take it back. Retraction.
Okay. Because I'm 50% Randy. Anyways, we're moving on because sometimes things get weird here in the hardware store. But talking about dads, Randy's not here to give us a dad joke, and you happen to be becoming a dad soon.
Yep.
Are there any dad jokes that you might have off the top of your head? We didn't give him any advance notice, so
didn't.
hopefully he'll have one.
Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
Win an award. He was a self-made man.
No.
No.
He was outstanding in his field.
That's more of a laugh than I give Randy, so that was a pretty good one. Outstanding.
Off the top of my head, not bad.
No, not bad. So, Austin, what do you do here at Randy's other than be the one holding my phone when we did Facebook Live videos on my phone?
Other than shaky cameraman.
Shaky camera work.
I'm the store manager, so I do
Awesome.
everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. U-Haul, receiving, orders, customer assistance, help people on the floor.
Do you sweep?
I sweep. I've cleaned toilets.
Yes.
Nothing is below me.
That's great. That's what we like in a store manager here. Yep. You got to start somewhere. And Austin's been a great store manager for us. How long have you been here?
Ooh.
Is it on
2
my
years.
list?
Yeah, maybe 2.5 years.
No.
Something like that.
Oh, this is a good question. I got a list of questions because I'm not the best interviewer in the entire world. What life lessons have you learned while working at Randy's?
At Randy's?
Yes, at Randy's. I mean, you can't learn more lessons than you can learn here.
Yeah, you don't
Clearly.
learn lessons anywhere else.
Nope, just at Randy's.
I think one of the bigger life lessons is just not to judge a book by its cover. You know, we have all kinds of people from all different areas, and they all need help. And it's our job to figure out what they need and get them the help they need.
Yeah.
And you just never know. So, you know, no matter what they look like or talk like, they all need help, and we're here to help them.
The fanciest suits still have broken toilets.
That's true.
Yep. What was the most difficult thing to learn coming to Randy's? Because you had retail experience before you came.
Yeah,
that's why we picked them up.
Selling, retail, management, no problem. Just and I'm really big into tools and woodworking and building, but electrical was kind of tough. It's just there's a little bit more when you get into plumbing. A mistake gets you wet. You know, that's not as big of a deal as electrical. So I still feel a little uncomfortable in some electrical stuff, but we have a great team with Doug and Adam and Randy and Christian, so I always have help when I need it.
Good. Well, that's what we try to do here at Randy's, be a team. I think electrical's hard too. I don't ever venture into that area. So if you ever see me in the hardware store, don't ask me for help unless you need help with like what paint color to choose, and then I'll tell you what's popular. But
or fabrics.
We don't have fabrics in the hardware.
We
have some cloth, like drop cloths.
Right.
But that's like the only fabric we have here. But yeah. What is your favorite part about working here?
It's the people that I work with. So
awesome.
I'm really blessed. I inherited a really good team, actually. And it's just interesting to be able to manage such a diverse group, from ages to, you know, like knowledge bases. And we have people who are just good at everything. So it helps me get better in areas that I'm, you know, a little weaker in. And it just makes me better. That's what I enjoy, and we have the best staff of any store, and I'll put that up against anybody. Great.
Well, you said before coming to Randy's and having to learn about all of the hardware stuff, you were into woodworking and projects around your house. What's your favorite thing to do after working in a hardware store all day? Do you go home and work on projects?
I have a few hobbies.
I know fishing's one of them.
Fly fishing is a big one, and then woodworking are my two main. So with it being cold, I still fish in the cold, but right now it's woodworking in the shop with a little one on the way. I'm building a changing table, so monopolizing a lot of my time.
What are you using to build?
What am I using?
Yeah, I'm like, what, I'm not a woodworker.
That's
so.
okay.
I mean.
The changing table's made of white oak and red oak, and it has a walnut top. So
sounds fancy.
It's coming along great.
Good.
We'll put it that
Hopefully
way.
we'll get some pictures of that to add into the video.
Yep.
So you guys can see what projects Austin's working on. Do you want to tell us anything about what led you to Randy's or how you grew up that maybe helped you become the Austin that you are today?
The Austin.
Yes.
So what not to do? Yeah, I mean, I started with, went to JMU, studied psychology, interestingly enough.
Well, then you might get some practice here in the hardware
Yeah, you
store.
get plenty of practice in retail, not just in the hardware store.
Okay.
But yeah, I just realized that I started working at Best Buy and realized that I really liked retail and numbers, and then got into the management side of things.
Nice.
And just really started growing and just retail management, something that I really like to do. And then a good friend of mine came to Randy's, and he told me how awesome it was to work here and how family focused it was. And yeah, that kind of just drew me. So I kind of reached out, and Christian and I talked, and there happened to be a spot available, and here I am.
Yay.
Right
And we're
now.
happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
So we'll have to figure out what that psychology degree is all about eventually.
Yeah,
We'll see what he's got notes on us in the back.
you can't see my notes, I'm sorry.
We're just a big case study after all. Well, Austin, we're really happy to have you here in the store as our manager. Things are running beautifully. Ron, you work here in the hardware store on our sales floor as one of our fixers. What's it like working with Austin?
I've had a number of bosses over the years, and Austin is among the better ones. He is thoughtful. He is concerned about you as a person and fitting in with the schedule that you have.
Is there one part of the store that you think might surprise people the most when they come in that you want everybody out in wherever we're broadcasting this to know?
In YouTube land?
YouTube land, Facebook land, Instagram land?
Yeah, one of the things we talk about is that we are more than a hardware store, and we have different things. So I know we've talked about knives and axes and high-end cutlery and all that stuff. So that's kind of a cool thing that we carry. But also, we just redid our paint department, and I think it looks fantastic. We've brought in a couple new lines. We have Diablo's brand new set of blades. We have Minoax's poly shades now, which we've been getting a lot of asked for, and so we just have everything you need.
So I'm here now with Christian, our CEO, and my lovely husband, or handsome husband. That's what people usually say, right? Okay, I'm sorry.
Lovely's okay.
Lovely. Well, I think you're
don't
lovely. All right. So, anyways, I'm here with Christian now. Sorry.
It's all right.
And we're talking about Austin today, and we are making a whole video about Austin. And you're the one who got in contact with Austin to bring him onto the team. What did you see in Austin that made you think, oh, he's going to be perfect for the hardware store?
Well, first of all, I could see that he was very diligent and that he, he crossed his T's and dotted his I's.
That's
right?
that woodworking, right?
That's just T's and dotted. It's not
Yeah,
the other one.
it's that one.
And yeah, he was very diligent in everything he did, and that everything, he did it in order, and he made sure each task was completed. And we see that here in the hardware store too. He's the kind of guy that I can count on to get each task completed and make sure that it's done the right way the first time. And I saw that in the very beginning too. He came highly recommended by his good friend, and I could see why, because that is evident to everybody that he does that. So that was true, and it also. He gets along with just about everybody. That's
a rare trait to find in a person.
It is, and it's not a trait that I have. So I really wanted to, yeah, surprise, surprise. But he gets along with everybody, especially for a store manager. That's really important that that they can get along with just about anybody. And there's yet to be somebody I haven't found. I haven't found anybody that Austin can't get along with. So those are the two biggest things that I saw in Austin that really I knew that he could do really well with us here at Randy's.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you have any good insider stories about Austin?
I have a couple. I have one really funny one, and then one that's insightful about him too.
Okay.
Which one? Which one?
You do both.
Okay. So we go to these big hardware shows
Yes.
twice a year or 3 times a year.
The
sometimes.
Do It Best markets. And
Right. and we were taking Austin to his first one, and I'm in charge of making. We have to wear these official name tags that gets us into these things and allow us to buy and everything. And you can't get into the show unless you have this ID badge. And I'm in charge of making them, and they have your name on them.
Yes.
And you're allowed to put a nickname because otherwise it might say your official, like my name's actually James, and I can put Christian down there. So for his name, I put Cupcake. And because it was his first year and we were doing a little bit of hazing, I just put Cupcake down. And instead of being upset about it, he totally played along, and everybody gave him a hard time. All the vendors that we saw, everybody, the whole trip, all 3 days that we were there, gave him a hard time about it. But he totally played along and had a good time with it too.
I bet those vendors remembered Randy's hardware though, because we've got Cupcake.
We've got Cupcake. So anytime you see him now, call him Cupcake. Because that was really funny.
Okay, that's a great story.
Yeah. Another thing that was insightful about Austin is that actually not too long ago, we were both closing up the store, and we were just turning off the lights and everything, and he mentioned that one time he had thought that he had forgotten to turn off a heater or a coffee pot or something, and he was sitting at home at like 9:30 at night, and he thought he had forgotten, so he came in after hours at 9:30 at night and came back all the way to the store just to make sure, and he had remembered, but he wanted to make sure that he didn't forget to turn off the coffee pot or the heater or whatever. And I think that says a lot about Austin, that he's going to go way out of his way to make sure all of his responsibilities are taken care of, even if it's a big hassle on his part.
Right.
He's going to always make sure his responsibilities are taken care of.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing those stories. Yeah. I hope you guys learned something about Austin today.
So give us a shot, come down, see us, and I don't think anybody would regret it.
Nope, I don't think so. And I think, what does Randy always say at the end?
We don't mind your questions.
We don't mind them at all. Thanks, everybody.